Testing 1, 2. All right, we're going to wait a few minutes, get everybody on this Facebook thing here. Want to let everyone know the shirts are here. They're for sale now in front of Local Color before we get the show rolling. We start at 8:30. Come on, wife, let's go. Ray Sandelli is already down here. Anita's already down here. Kim's mom is here. The wife is getting ready, always to the last minute. Got to hear from Gene to start the show. If you have a minute, click on that superfan icon there on the top so you can see what we're up to. You're gonna have to sit next to me. I know you don't want to, but you're gonna have to sit next to me so Steve can sit there. If you didn't see our interview with the mayor last night, you can go on there and check that out. Is everybody ready? Oh, look, John Himes back. Gosh, can't get rid of him. John, go do something. Go save the water or something. And don't put any comments on there that nobody wants to hear. All right, is everybody ready? Steve, you in the picture? Come on over, Steve. There we go. Look at that. All right, quiet on the set. Quiet on the set.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Live from Peach Time Out in the heart of Times Square. You're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 104. Today is Saturday, March 14th, 2020, and we are broadcasting live from Table 23 at Peach Time Out on Fort Myers Beach, right in the heart of the soon-to-be refurbished Times Square. And as always, we want to thank our great and long-time sponsors, and we hope you'll stop by and see them whenever you can. FMB Designs and Remodeling, Shuckers at the Gulf Core, man,
Sure.
I do that every weekend. Gulf Core. Why do I say Gulf Core?
I don't know.
Gulf Shore and Cottage, and also the Fort Myers Tiki Tours folks, and our newest sponsor that we'll be telling you more about. I don't even know if you know this, wife. I'll be telling you more about this over the course of the show today and throughout the next 10 weeks. Dairy Queen right behind us. The Dairy Queen is on board, so thank you for that. And, of course, by now...
Does that mean we get some...
Oh, but they have... Is that a drizzle?
Ice cream?
Is the drizzle the name of the popular... Is it Buzzard or... yeah, they have the
Core.
Blizzard specials.
It's the Core special.
The Core special?
Yeah.
We'll be telling you all about the Blizzard. Is that what it is, a Blizzard?
It's a Blizzard.
Okay, what is a Blizzard?
It's like an ice cream shake, but it's really thick. And they crush up like whatever you want in there. Oreos, different candies.
Okay.
Oh, they have a lot.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of the ice cream, but I know you are, so
No.
you'll be able to talk about the Blizzard, and I'm sure if they brought down some demos, that'd be even better for you. By now,
Just
you all
saying.
know the coronavirus is around, and it's crippling everything going on out there as far as big events go. It's not crippling people. The 62nd Annual Shrimp Festival and Parade has been canceled, and we've been doing what we can to help out the Lions Club because the Lions Club raises over $60,000 for charities. And you know some of the charities that they
Well, I know that they do a lot for locally. They do a lot on the beach at the school. They do stuff for the Boy Scouts Club. They have a big vision program. That's sort of their big push. They've always been about restoring vision and testing kids' vision and getting kids free eyeglasses and free eye exams. And so very important stuff.
I know while we had the mayor on last night, we raised some money. Some people donated. I know John at Pete's Time Out donated $1,000,
Yes.
so that was pretty cool.
Cha-ching.
And Dan and Megan Allers gave $500, so
Wow.
that was pretty cool. And there are T-shirts. Of course, these are going to be collector's T-shirts. They're already for sale out in front of Local Color, and you can come down and get those. And also the tent behind us, the Lions Club will be here around 10 or 10:30, and they'll be selling the T-shirts. So, you know,
I think they're going to sell out of those T-shirts.
for sure. So you want to come down early, and they're selling one for 20 or two for 30. But of course, if you
They'll
want to
take
buy
more.
if you want to buy one for 50 or two for 100, whatever, they'll take that as well.
Right.
So as much
Right.
money as you can donate, that's going to be going on. And also back in the video archive from yesterday, in addition to the interview with the mayor, we interviewed the Jackie from the Chamber of Commerce, the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and talked to her about the fact that even though the parade is not going on and the 5K is not going on and the shrimp is not here, the beach is still open and the businesses are still open, so everybody can come down. The bridge is open. That you don't have to worry about the bridge being closed at all. So come on down and spend some money with the businesses. They're definitely going to need it. We have plenty of guests going on all morning long, so we'll get right to it. We wanted to talk about, is there anything that you wanted to throw in there?
No, I was just going to mention that the new walkover is open.
Oh,
and
yes.
It is impressive.
Right.
That thing is impressive.
Right. And it's really,
it's handicap accessible times 10. I mean, it's wide. It's super solid.
and they did get it finished a lot earlier than
Mm-hmm.
they said they were going to. I think that last time we had asked the county, they said April 15th, but
Yeah, they
nice and early.
Mhm.
All the parking is open, the fences are down, and they did a great job. Steve?
I think it's hurricane rated. That thing's going nowhere.
Yeah,
Right,
Steve and
right.
I were checking it out, and that thing's going to withstand everything.
Right.
We're going to be holding on to it if there's a big storm.
And last night, part of the thing that you see in the link up there, and we'll tell you more about it later on, the super fan content that we're having is the wife here interviewed Megan Allers last night. It's going to be part of our extra content that you'll see if you click on that link in the top of the Facebook page. And the reason you interviewed her was?
Well, to get her perspective on how the process has impacted her and her family, because, you know, this year, more than in years past, it's been kind of nasty. And so just wanted to get her perspective on how it's affected them
Right.
and also all of the work that she does, you know, supporting her husband and all of that. What are you laughing
Sorry, I'm
at?
laughing because people are bringing, I mean, I get it. People are bringing their own spray and their own rags and things like that to wash it extra. I brought extra the tissues and hand sanitizer too. So
Listen, I'm not that comfortable sitting so close to you, but
Well, you know that-
that's nothing new.
the thing
folks.
is too, I shook hands with 3 people today, and you're so used to shaking hands with people, you just put your hand out and you shake hands and everything will be fine. Go ahead, Steve.
I dare you to go grocery shopping and pick up some produce and see
Oh.
if you can get that bag open without licking your fingers after
Right.
hanging onto that cart handle.
I went to Walmart at 4
and
o'clock.
they're out of the wipes to wipe it down. So
I went to Walmart at 4 o'clock in the morning on Friday, just because I always go to Walmart at 4 o'clock in the morning because I don't like to be around big crowds, which has nothing to do with the virus. It's just the way I am. And I figured if I went at 4 o'clock in the morning, I could at least get one package of toilet paper. The entire aisle of toilet paper was gone. The entire aisle of water was gone. And then I put my hands on the cart. And I don't think there's anything worse that you can do than put your hands without gloves on a Walmart cart. You know, and then you go for the hand sanitizer and they're empty now.
Right.
So
I will say, your sister sent me a message this morning about Publix has now announced that they're going to be closing at 8 o'clock.
yeah. Well, yeah.
So,
All right, so back to the election. It's coming up on Tuesday. We have 3 open seats, 7 candidates running. Well, really 6 candidates running. 3 open seats. The election will be decided on Tuesday. By the end of the evening, we'll know who the 3 new candidates are, or 2 new candidates and 1 incumbent. And the reason that you interviewed Megan was because of all the negative publicity she's gotten, and really they've gotten over the last 10 days that was paid for by a PAC outside Fort Myers Beach, although probably funded by somebody that lives on Fort Myers Beach that we just haven't been able to find who that person is yet. But we'll find that. The way you dig around for things, we'll peel those layers back. But we wanted to bring Leah and Steve on because they're so vocal about the election and they have strong opinions and I don't. So we figured we'd get somebody with a strong opinion on about the election. And so, Aaliyah, why don't you start first and give us your idea of who the 3 people that are going to win are?
All right. I think it has been an interesting season here for candidates. I don't think really, quite frankly, it's been any more brutal than last year. I think last year there was a lot of similar negative publicity, right or wrong. We heard on your show last week when the gentleman was on that it works, crazy enough. The more they put out negative publicity, the more it works. So it is unfortunate. You would think there would be fair balance and people would just speak about really what they want to do for the island and not so much criticize others. But I've made it public. I agree with you guys. I agree with, is it Bay Beach? Is that the ones as well down there that made the the call that it's out of the candidates that we have, I support Bill Veach, Dan Allers, and Jim Aderholt, and I do believe they will win.
Steve?
Yeah, I've said all along my two favorites that I really hope are elected are Dan and Jim. And then I've been pretty public in saying that the third candidate, whether it be Bruce or whether it be Veach, you flip a coin, you end up with a good candidate either way. I at this moment could vote for either one, but I think I'd go for Bruce.
Dear, who are you voting for?
Well, as everyone knows, we don't get to vote, dear.
Okay, well, you're...
But we said it last week. We were in agreement about the same three.
So
what three is that, just to confirm?
It's no, it's Adders, Aderholt, and Veach.
Cool. Now, how do you guys feel about, I don't want to say this too loud around the mayor because I know she doesn't agree with this, but what do you guys think about the terms, the 3 years or the 4 years? We have to get enough information out there so it doesn't increase to 4 years. So what do you think, Steve? How many years?
I say 3. If you have a new candidate come in and they're a bad candidate and they don't perform well, then you hate to be stuck with them for 4 years, which we've had in the past. The argument against 3 is that it takes a couple of years to get your feet on the ground and only 1 year to make something happen. Well, my contention is if you're a good candidate and you come in and you do the right thing, you treat people the right way, you're likely to be elected for a second term. You have 3 more years to do something. So I strongly think that I would prefer 3 years.
Leah?
My opinion is I think 3 years as well, because I think it does. If you can't get the job done in 3 years, you do have to question if that person should be in the role. And I do agree that it does take a little time to get up and running, maybe 9 months to a year. That seems to be the case in pretty much any job to really get it under your belt. And then year 2 and 3, you really start to perform. And to Steve's point, if you do well, you're going to get reelected. I also think that it's important for candidates, which this is why it factored into my decision of the 3 folks that I support, is, you really should sit on one of the committees. You've got so many. You've got the LPA, the safety committee. You've got Marine Resource Task Force, and I think it really prepares you. The more you could do in preparation for sitting in that seat, I think the better off you're going to be. And the key is preparation.
I think that if Bob Morant doesn't come in last place, the election is a total failure. He really needs to be the bottom feeder on this one. Don't you guys agree with that?
With very few votes, if any at all.
Did you see his ad in the newspaper last week? Did you guys see the ad?
He attacked Ed.
That's right. He put us in the ad, which I thought was yes.
Well, you always say, no.
Nobody listens. Nobody pays attention. Now,
talk, right? It wasn't Beach Talk Radio. It wasn't full branding.
I know. He said turn off the radio or turn off the Facebook. Well, we're not really on the radio, so.
But you don't care about negative stuff or positive stuff as long as you're getting stuff.
Right.
As long as you're getting attention.
Publicity, any kind of publicity is good publicity.
I care, but you don't care.
At the last forum, when asked if he had personally met Bob Conadaris, he said no.
Is that? Is that who we asked?
Yeah, but you don't know that he did. Just because he represented him, you don't know that he did meet with him. You don't know that for a fact. That's the problem. Everybody's so opinionated. Speak facts.
But it doesn't sound right. I'll just say that.
There's a lot of things that don't sound right that's going on right now. I'll share one with you soon.
Go ahead. We're going to start because I know I don't want to run out of time here. So, Leah.
You want to key up a little clip?
Yeah, all right. I'm going to play this. I know only the 2 of us could hear it, so I'll tell you when it's over. But Leah wants to make a point about the lights. Of course, the lights are a major issue. The lights are the biggest issue, one of the biggest issues after the water on the beach here. So we're going to play this clip. And
the number one issue that you believe is tangible and that you will own.
From one of the forums.
The number one issue that you're focused on, we'll start with Councilman Butcher.
That's a softball I was looking for. Thank you. My number one issue is lights on the streets.
Councilman.
All right, so lights on the streets, number one issue.
Okay, so again, it's really about competencies and leadership skills, quite frankly. And I mean, there's another clip, and yeah, I know you've got it. That Bruce, I mean, he's a self-proclaimed light guy. He's said it numerous times. He stated at every candidate forum that the lights are his number one priority. You just heard that, and it's been that since 2013. He spent 2 years getting the first lighting study approved, and then it took 3 additional years for it to complete. And quite frankly, it was a debacle, a complete waste of time, and a big waste of money. His 4 counterparts, the council counterparts, did not support his decision to take the first recommendation from the first consultant. So another consultant was hired just recently. Ed and I kind of uncovered this this past week. It was pretty simple to uncover. And he was hired to conduct another lighting study. He was a Miami-based consultant, and he was caught, convicted, and sentenced to 1 year and a day in prison. I think it was 300 hours of service, and I think a $25,000 fine for bribing a public official over lights in 2012. So it really isn't new news. So as the lead council member, for the light project, you would think that Bruce would want to get it right this time and put forth a little effort to lead his #1 priority project to succeed. So my question is, do we really want someone on our town council who is really that lackadaisical, who has not demonstrated the leadership, the foresight, and simply the pragmatic ability to ensure the right light guy is hired, especially this time around? It's such a hot topic, and literally you and I mean, quite frankly, I watched the meeting when the new consultant presented, and I had a few questions. So they gave his name and his business, and I literally called his business, and the number was disconnected. I looked for an email, couldn't find an email anywhere. I sent Ed an email. I said, Ed, this is kind of fishy. I'm not sure what's going on. Ed sent information back to me saying, I think the guy's not going to be around that long. Quick Google search. Ed found it. I found it right after Ed found it. There's articles all over the place, FBI articles about this guy being convicted and sentenced to 1 year and a day in jail for bribing a political official over lights. So if I'm the lead in a situation like that, I'm going to do a little research just to make sure that, especially since it's such a hot topic, it's not an embarrassment once again. So I mean, if you can't have the foresight to be able to do a quick search, I don't know. We need better leadership.
I made the same comment on Facebook. I to not do a Google search is it's very easy to do, and somebody, if not Bruce, somebody should have done that. But there are more issues going around about town than just the lighting issue, and I mean, I'm a big fan of the road project up here. You get a lot of people complaining about it. I haven't complained about the thing at all. It's gone very smooth. They've kept 2 lanes of traffic open the whole time. They've pushed it along. They reduced the time frame that it was supposed to take. There's a lot of work to do out there, and they're getting it done. I don't see any reason to complain about it, and I think Bruce is a big part of that. Bruce pushed a lot of that through. By being forceful with the contractors and redoing plans and rearranging things to make it smooth. So I mean, Bruce has done some good things.
So question: if he's that thorough and doing such good things, then maybe he was in the decision-making process and hiring a convicted briber.
Yeah, I agree with you on the light issue.
I mean, that's another way to look at it. If he really is that, either way, the ball was dropped on one of the biggest projects that came up in every single forum. It's the #1 topic: safety for the humans on the island.
It at least seems from the outside that he has the support of the town council members. I know Anita seems like she's in support of him. A number of the other ones are. I think they hope for his reelection. So, I mean, I think that means something. I think some consistency on the board means something. You have 3 slots open on a 5-person council. I think, thank you.
Be careful.
No, I didn't do it.
Well, hey, I got to just ask you.
But I think when you have 3 spots open in a 5-person council, I think some consistency is good. So keeping 3 incumbents around and 2 new people coming in, I think is a good blend, as opposed to having 3 brand new members come in.
Let me
Drain the swamp.
Let me ask you guys this: you both live on the beach, and we don't. We try and make that clear as much as possible. We really can't vote, so don't listen to anything we say. It doesn't really mean anything. Well, what you say means a lot, but what I say really doesn't mean anything. I always have an agenda, and I want people make sure that I'm not trying to hide anything. And you shouldn't pay any attention to what I say. But you guys live on the beach. What do you think all this negative, these flyers have meant to anybody? Do you think they've had any impact on votes, the way they have been attacking Dan and Bruce?
I think a lot of people have voted already, in quite some time ago, so they have no effect. I drove here this morning from the south end of the beach. It seems like Dan, he's the one getting singled out the most.
Right.
I think he has a lot of support. He has signs up. There's a lot of buzz going around town about Dan. I think people like him. I don't think it's had any negative effect on him, and I certainly hope not. I mean, there's sign after sign after sign. If people had changed their mind about him, or decided that he was a bad candidate because of the publicity, they'd have taken their signs down. I don't see any sign of that.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think it was just Dan and Bruce that was called out?
Their pictures are all over the flyers.
Yeah, but why? Why is it just them and not Jim Outerholt? Because I think that same crew is supported by someone pretty big that perhaps could be a little influential. So maybe that's why they're going after those two. But my question is, why not all three?
All three being
Being Jim as well.
Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why they chose not to pick on Adderholt. And the Condieras crew says, and Bob Condieras never met with Jim Adderholt, even though he wrote in his advertisement in the Observer that his family did. His family did meet with Jim Adderholt, and that's the advice I think they gave him, or somebody else wrote that ad. But I think that they're trying to either get bullet votes for Brandt. I think that's where all that's coming from. It's coming from Brandt. It's coming from somebody else that had an attorney call us to get me to stop talking about her. It's coming from that crew that hates TPI, that crew that is a small group of people that is able to use somebody's money and make it seem like it's a big group of people.
Right, but
and it's not.
TPI publicly endorsed Jim Adderholt as well.
Yeah.
So again, I don't understand why they wouldn't attack all three if they're that against TPI.
Because I think by attacking those two, they think they could get Brandt in too somehow. I don't know what the strategy is. I don't think it's going to work.
And I will, to your point about the mail-in vote, I think the mail-in vote is going to be huge this election, and bigger than it would have been had this virus not come out, because it is not unforeseeable that people are going to be a little less, going to be reluctant to go to a place where other people are. And, I'm sure the voting people have a big job to make sure that it's safe for people, that nothing is, everything's clean and disinfected. And I think people are freaked out. So I think that is going to have an impact on the turnout. And so the mail-in vote is really going to carry it.
Yeah.
But that's my prediction. That's my speculation.
All right. So anything else you guys want to talk about before Tuesday to try and sway people, the 9 people that haven't voted yet?
Yeah, I think your guest last week also said get to know the candidates. And there's so much, I think I posted this somewhere, there's so much negative publicity and, big corporations getting behind candidates. And I think, that can influence the decision. So I would just encourage people to do what your guest last week said and just get to know the candidates. Ed did a fantastic job. Kim, you did as well in interviewing every single candidate, except of course for Brandt. And fortunately he sent it to me in simple clips via YouTube, and I put it together on one simple post. So the interviews are less than 30 minutes each, and watch them. There's forums that you can go back and watch and just get to know the candidates, see how they think, see how they answer questions, if they answer the questions to your liking. And vote for, my opinion is Veach, Allers, and Adderholt.
One of Butcher's, I think, finer qualities. He's fiscally conservative, watches the budget. I think that's a good thing. And one of Veach's finest qualities, he's environmentally involved. He's involved with the environment. He protects the environment. As head of the Marine Resource Task Force, he does that, provides valuable input to the council. And in there, you could make a case for leaving him in that position. And I think he provides a great service there.
Well, fiscally responsible, I could say, and he said it on your show. The original light study that he oversaw was $100,000, and as he put it, plus or $20,000. So he wasn't sure of the cost. And even though Lee County paid for it, I pay Lee County taxes. Yeah. And then we had to pay for another guy that comes in that's a convicted felon.
Real quick. Yesterday was quite a day all around, from the council meeting to all the other stuff that had to take place to cancel the major event here on the beach. And by the way, if you're just joining us, the shirts for the Shrimp Festival are for sale. Pink for the ladies, white for the men. Of course, it doesn't have to be that way. That's just the way they brought it over. I know you can't say anything these days.
Men look good in pink.
I have to go wash my hands after I said that. But they're for
Or your
sale.
mouth.
They're for sale at local color right now, and then they're going to be for sale at this tent here. $20 for one, $30 for two, or any donation. The Lions Club usually raises about $60,000 for charities, and we're going to do whatever we can to try and to put money in their bank account for
And
them so they can help out.
They are super cute. I
Yeah.
mean, they did a great job designing them.
And-
They're true to size. I will say that, which
And
is
we-
They're nice
good.
cut. They're not like they're women's
No.
cut. Fits
Mhm.
nice.
By the way, we do have one to give away during the show. You just don't know when. And you see there's plenty of room on the back where you can, after it's a little too soon now, but on the back you can paint on there, I survived the coronavirus. I mean, after a
Corona
while.
bottle on it.
Yeah, after a while, that'll be kind of cool, right, dear? So what I wanted to mention real quick was yesterday, if you watched the council meeting, you saw some real leadership on this beach. It was so tough to watch them agonize through a decision where you had to cancel such a huge event on this beach and almost like taking money away from a charity, but it was so the right thing to do, and it was because of the way Anita handled that meeting yesterday. It almost seemed like I don't want to say this the wrong way, but you could tell the other council members didn't really want to make that
Well,
decision.
with the exception of Joanne. Joanne and Anita led that
that's true.
decision.
That's right.
Period.
Joanne knew she was
Bruce
on
wanted to
board.
leave it up to the people and say, well, people will decide whether or not they want to come. And Ray and Rexanne stated that they really wanted the Lions Club to make the call. So
Yeah.
essentially they didn't want to make the decision. But Anita,
She
exhibited
swayed people.
that's leadership
Yeah, that's
skills
right.
right there.
That's right.
Period.
She did a great
And
job.
competence.
What a last meeting to have to make
No
that kind of
kidding.
decision. You figure the last meeting's going to be, you're going to do the business, but people are going to be bringing you gifts and telling you what a great job you've
It's
done.
going to be
and
a relatively
it's
easy.
going to be a hug fest,
Yeah.
although maybe even elbow
No.
fest
Yeah,
this
but
year.
I thought it was a great opportunity once again for Anita to demonstrate leadership, because that's really what
Absolutely.
it's all about, is making the tough decisions. And as she said, their main responsibility as town council was about public safety.
Yep.
So, and quite frankly, the only two, if you heard the meeting, public events that were still active or still going on as of yesterday was the Shrimp Fest and then the Blues Fest in Bonita, and they canceled that as
They
well.
did. Okay. All right.
So
Well,
right
I mean,
decision.
there's only one event still going on that has a permit that really shouldn't be going on, but I don't want to bring the show down. Everybody knows what that is.
But then I thought there was something out there that all the permits were pulled.
They
Their
are-
permit
they
was,
are.
they pulled their permit.
They are, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything.
Stop by later with your camera.
Oh, you can bet that's going to happen. Well, thank you guys for coming on. We appreciate
you.
it as always, and good luck
Yes,
with your
thank you, thank
candidates
you.
on Tuesday.
Thank you very much.
yes.
It's always a pleasure.
Thanks
All
for
right.
having us on.
All right, thank you guys.
Have a good day, guys.
And we
Come buy
look
a shirt.
forward-
They're awesome. I'm going to go get one.
By the way, Tuesday night we will be at the election headquarters down.
We will be?
Well, I'll be if I can stay up late. That's like 7:30.
You're
is when
never.
the votes are coming
always.
in.
You always make these grand statements
I
and
know.
plans, and then you never
Then
are
I
able
fall
to
asleep
do
in
it.
the chair.
That's right.
All right, dear. Why don't you? Our
Okay.
first guest is talking to your mom, so I'm going to kind of give everybody an idea what that link is at the top of the Facebook chat box. Starting today, folks, we have like a super fan page where you can go on there. You can be a supporter for $5 a month. It automatically gets you a free T-shirt. So right off the bat, if you want one, you get a free T-shirt. If you don't want one, that's fine too. But there's already extra content in there. So far, we've interviewed Megan Allers to talk to her about how she felt about the negative publicity and how she dealt with it and all that kind of stuff, which was cool. I interviewed, along with Steve, one of the special forces operators that sat in front of Martin LeBlanc at the church last week and challenged him on his claim that he was a Green Beret. We went to his house and we interviewed him, and there's video and audio of that. Once you register, you get instant access of the audio because you'll get to pick whatever player you listen to podcasts on, but I'll also send you the video of that so you can watch either one. In most cases, there'll be video and audio because we found that, a lot of the time people would prefer to watch the show than to listen to the show. So we're going to try and do as many video interviews as we can. So those two are video. The one that we did with Guy Gravino, who is a real badass special forces guy. He was in the special forces. And also Kim's interview with Megan to talk about the election. So the minute that you jump on there, you get the free T-shirt and you also get all the content. We also interviewed, I'll tell you more about the other interviews that are on there. But first, I want to introduce you. Oh, you don't even have a microphone. I asked her to do one thing in between segments. And our first guest after the roundtable is, are you going to join us here? Is Todd Truex.
Yes.
Todd,
Good morning.
thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, Todd is running for Lee County Board, and that's District 3, which includes Fort Myers Beach, correct? Is that
Yes,
how
it
it
does.
works?
Yes.
Whereas everybody just got free reign of the whole county.
Well, the whole county gets to vote, but I'm running for District 3, which runs from basically Bonita up to Health Park.
Okay.
Includes Fort Myers Beach.
And what do you do? What is
My background, I'm a nursing home administrator and social worker. I've been working Southwest Florida for 20-some years now.
Now, what's with the name tag? Is that part of the campaign?
It says I'm
Is
running
that-
for county commissioner.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I'm keeping people in mind of the beach
Nice.
and the water.
So, oh, sorry, dear. I didn't mean to turn your mic off.
Well, I do want to say, yes, he's got a name tag and he's got a super fantastic car.
What do you mean?
That's it. Go ahead, tell him.
It's a Mustang GT. It's my
Oh, wow.
midlife crisis continued. So it's orange with the black stripe, and I got my magnets on the side. So that's how I advertise.
How dare you put magnets on a car like that? What are you
know.
thinking?
I had to sign a waiver because it might mess up the paint. But it's worth it. It's worth for the campaign.
Yeah, and it matches the name tag. It's slick.
All right, dear. You go right for the colors.
There we go.
Good job there. Well, I mean, it's like picking the team that has the nicest jerseys, the way you do things.
Yeah.
So,
No,
Todd,
serious though.
Todd, what is it that you've run for public office before, right?
I did. I ran for U.S. House District 19. I was running for Francis Rooney's seat
Okay. And
in 2018.
2018. Now, how did that campaign go?
It was a great experience. I got 11,513 new friends.
Okay.
And I based that as my base for this campaign. The issue for me as being a nursing home administrator was the cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and veterans benefits. And that's how I take care of seniors. I've been taking care of seniors all my life, and I saw that as a threat to their care and well-being.
Now, why did you decide you wanted to run for Lee County Board?
88,000 votes separated my primary opponent and Mr. Rooney. And so I said, that's a big margin to make up a difference of. So I saw Lee County as a local way to make a difference. And I didn't like the direction that the commissioners have been taking the past several years.
What direction is that?
The focus is on growth and development and not on health and well-being. The water issues are, just across the bay here. The blue-green algae, the red tide issues, and I've been to a lot of different protests and meetings about the water issues and join the Calusa water keepers because I think water is a bigger issue than just growth because growth is going to happen no matter what. And they haven't been managing that very well either.
You're not
and growth, contributes to then more water problems.
Correct.
So if it's not managed well, then we're just going to add insult to injury.
So we need smart growth is what we need. We have 100,000 septic tanks in Lee County alone. And there's no plan to stop or halt that or to even inspect those septic tanks, let alone to connect those folks to sewer lines.
You're not a John Heim fan, are you? I mean,
I met John in my campaign.
Come on.
I did. I
Was
met
it-
him because
was it-
I'm everywhere.
I don't know why you're shocked about
Was
that.
it protesting
I'm here.
your campaign?
He's up and down the sidewalk, isn't he?
They didn't
he's
yell at
everywhere.
you that you were for dirty water for no reason?
No,
Okay.
because I'm not for dirty water.
Well, who is for dirty water?
Honestly. Well, the folks that aren't paying attention to the issue are thereby supporting it.
Now, I just noticed that last week, the county was celebrating that they just bought more land too. Is that?
That's a nice gesture. I've seen a lot of the Conservation 2020 money is being spent to administration and not buying land. Compared to the other counties, the 67 counties in the state, only 20% of our county has been conserved for preservation. Other counties, it's averaging 35 to 40%. And we've got a lot of big green spaces. We need to keep those and keep the blue water as pristine as we can get it.
So do you agree that the county, that government should own so much property? Is it to prevent people from developing it? Is that why
There's
they're doing
other
it?
ways to do that. There's easements that can be placed. So just like you can buy mining rights to mine underneath land or drill, you can also have easements on top of the land to just keep it as either cattle or agricultural purposes rather than putting 1,600 houses on it.
Dear, just make sure you say hello to our daughter. She's watching. So there you go.
Oh,
Hi,
good morning.
Jelly.
And your dad's watching too. So
Oh,
the whole
I know.
family's here. Your
family's
mom's here.
fine.
Yeah.
I know.
Mom's a sweet lady.
So can I give you just a little bit of my opinion on something?
I was counting on
The
that.
communication between the county and the beach town council really sucks.
What are you talking about? That's the county commissioner right there and the mayor of Fort Myers
I
Beach.
know.
They're having
now,
breakfast
now,
together.
Now
She's already endorsed
well,
him.
Here's what I mean by that. You see this construction going on back here, that this new thing that they built back here, right during the middle of the season. Not only that, the town council didn't even know that it was going to be built, or they say they didn't know. So I mean,
I don't
I'm
know.
just
It's not
passing.
that long a road.
Hey, I'm just giving you a little advice. You can tell me
Oh,
to flip
my
off. I mean, I'm
goodness.
just saying
No.
that's. But by the way, the road construction I think is going great.
$80 million well spent.
Yeah, and it's going to be super nice. So
I came up the Bonita Beach way. It's from the south end. So
Yeah.
it was a beautiful ride this morning, and
Yeah.
and the water, the way it's going to spill out into the center of the street and leave the higher
Mhm.
ground for the lanes. I think that's going to be pretty handy.
Yeah, I don't think I understand the bricks in the middle thing kind
It's
of
pretty.
thing, but yeah, I don't. But what do I know?
Well, I think
As long as
there's
there's a bike
special
lane.
bricks that are going to help
all right.
drain the
Because
water.
you're an engineer now, you
I
know what
am.
you're talking about.
Well, I've studied it.
So tell us more about what your issues are, because you know what our issues are. We're having trouble with our marriage, but other
Well,
than that,
yeah. I got 16 years in. I just had the anniversary.
and the car, buying the car was okay with her.
Well, this is the second Mustang convertible.
Oh, you have two now.
Yeah,
You
no. I turned in
buy
the
one,
old
get one
'cause I
free?
put so many miles on it. In fact, I was looking forward to driving in the St. Patrick's Day parade, and
Nice.
that's I think canceled as well.
I
Would
know.
you would you have
Shrimp
been the
fest.
kind of person that had a driver and you sat on the back and waved?
I did
or
have
you-
the volunteer driver, and it was my car. And now I got a stick shift, so I got to find just a special
Oh.
kind of driver.
So who was the volunteer driver?
You're interested?
I
That'd be
can
so
use
nice.
He cannot do it, so.
Yeah, you have.
Don't
It's
let
hard to
him
drive
drive a
slow
stick.
and shift gears, and
Mhm.
Do you know that the mayor's house is filled with candy now because they were going to throw candy out?
I did a
during
lot
the
of
parade?
candy tossing.
And she said something last night, like, "What am I supposed to do with the candy?" And I was trying to be positive, because my first thought with candy is throw it out. I mean, nobody should have candy. It should be outlawed.
Kids love
Forget
candy.
about the plastic straws. There should be an outlaw of candy. We should start an outlaw candy campaign
No,
because really,
That'll not go anywhere.
kids don't need candy. But anyway,
Dentists
I
need
digress.
kids to have candies.
Who's that?
Dentist. I was gonna. Yep.
Dentists need kids to have candy.
Yes.
So what else? What other issue are you?
The water, the growth, and clean energy. If we focused on those three issues alone, and the health and safety of our community. I saw recently the press release, the press announcement about this COVID-19 issue, and the county commissioner that was there was asked, well, how much revenue are we losing? And really the focus should be about the health and safety of the community before how much dollars are we missing out on because of, we got to cancel the beach, the shrimp festival, or we got to cancel the different events in the community. It's hard, but it's more important to be safe and alive for another day than how many bucks are we missing out.
How do you-
There was a huge impact when we had the blue-green algae too. All the hotels were empty, the restaurants were empty, the bars were empty, and people that depend on that income were losing out, including the captains.
Did you see what happened to the guy that ran for governor in Miami? Did you see that story? Like he got.
I did.
Oh wow, that was crazy. Did you see that, dear?
Mhm.
I did.
Oh, I'll tell you about it later. Google that, dear. You got to get
Okay.
up on the news when you have guests in like this.
You spend
This is more-
24/7 doing this. I have other things going on.
So
So,
you're-
Fair amount.
So you're for clean water, not dirty water. Clean energy, not
That's
dirty
easy.
energy.
That's
So
easy,
I
isn't
mean, you're a shoo-in. How do you think the county handled the COVID coronavirus situation?
That was the county has to not just wait for the state to do something and not just wait for the federal government to do something, because already we've known about this since December, November, and still we don't have enough tests, so we don't know how many people are stricken with this illness.
and
Yeah.
we have a large population that fits into that
Right.
high risk group.
That's why I was
the
running,
folks
because-
that you right.
Good
Yeah,
one, dear.
because
You must have Googled that before the
We've
show.
got
No,
seniors
it's
that
just
are at risk.
intuitive.
And I was just visiting mom. I used to run the nursing home over at Calusa Harbor, and mom's at the Calusa Harbor Independent Tower. And I took her out grocery shopping because we needed to get all her basic essentials so she can, have her lunch and have her toilet paper.
Right.
But we didn't fill a shopping cart full of it.
Why do you think there's been a run on toilet paper? And what can the county do to fix that? I mean, that just seems so weird.
The biggest expenditure of our county money, the $450 million that we spend, is on garbage removal
Wow.
and our sheriff's department.
Well, okay.
All right. And so toilet paper battles are not top
I
priority.
just it's just the toilet paper thing I'm baffled with. I get the water, but
Well,
I just
besides the sore throat and dry cough, another symptom is could be diarrhea and nausea. Wow. So that could play into that.
Yeah.
But if we need to, there's always paper towels and boxes of Kleenex.
Do you think the county will ever ration toilet paper so that everyone gets their fair share?
I don't believe in that.
Okay.
I don't believe that's required or necessary.
Go ahead, dear. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Some hard-hitting questions. I prepared, but
we're
it's
here
a new
for
angle.
fun. We're here for fun. Go ahead, dear. What was your question?
Whatever question I had in my head went right out like a roll of toilet paper when you said that
because
ridiculous
I
comment.
knew you wanted to ask. By the way, do you have a candidate in the sheriff's race? Who are you going to vote for there?
I like Carmine.
Yeah.
I like Carmine.
We're trying to get him on the show, but I won't ask him about the toilet paper because he carries a weapon.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. So clean water, clean energy. What else? What is the number one criticism that you have besides it being all white men? I mean, why can't we get a woman on that?
White guy. I'm a younger white guy.
Yeah. How old are you?
51.
How much you making? You don't have to answer that. I just love asking people that question.
Nursing home administrators average about 6 figures.
Nice.
At the lowest.
Now, why would you take a pay cut? Because that's a full-time job, county.
For me, it's about giving back. I'm a social worker first.
Yeah.
And so we've set aside a nest egg. My wife is still working for the state. She worked for the Department of Children and Families for 30 years. She just is re-upped for the DROP program.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't want to retire. So this will keep me busy.
How have you seen kind of healthcare and the elderly and nursing homes progress over the years with different administrations and?
Well, lately the current administration wants to cut back on, and you're an OT,
I
right?
am.
So the current administration
Somebody
wants to
else
cut
did
back
their
on those
research.
inspections. Yeah, I did my research. And cutting back on those inspections or cutting back on our health and safety for our grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles and moms and dads. And I think that's a big threat. I see when folks talk about cutting red tape and bureaucracy, they're really cutting protections that are in place to keep our environment clean, keep our people safe, and keep businesses in line that might otherwise pollute and or threaten others' safety and health.
So, Todd, why is it that the county wants the boaters to be allowed to run people over in these waters out here?
Did you just see that in the news? The guy in Naples?
Well, no.
There was a 50-year-old. Yeah, there you go. There's a 50-year-old at the beach swimming, and a 70-some-year-old was racing his boat and knocked him with his boat.
Wow.
And threw him a life vest and then sped away. And so the people on the beach, thankfully there were people on the beach, called 911, took the guy over to the road so he can be taken by ambulance, and then they caught the fellow that was racing the boat. And that was just this week.
Well,
it's scary.
Yeah, well, I didn't really mean that. I meant that we had some speed limit change out here where all of a sudden the signs are 25 miles an hour.
And no wake zones.
And now the town has to jump through like all these hoops to pass things, and they don't even have the power to do it, yet they live on this beach. I mean, talk about red tape. I mean, that's crazy that they're able to do that.
It is, and the best way we can police that ourselves is to say things to the fellow boaters while we're out there. Say, hey, slow it down. You know, people move their hands like that to slow cars down as they're racing down the road. If we need a mom out there with a hairdryer pretending like she's got a radar gun, maybe we'll do that.
I've never thought of that.
You know, they do that on the streets.
Yeah, one night we should do that.
Bumps out.
One night we should do that on Gateway Boulevard. You stand out there with a hairdryer and see if people slow down. Have you ever done that, Todd? Is that where that came from?
Listen,
82? Yeah,
you did that. Rough. You did that in 1982?
No. I'm not. That's Route 82. You're talking about the Gateway.
Yeah. My fear with that is that the shape of a blow dryer looks like something
looks like
else.
A gun.
It's a big white thing, though.
Yeah, make it look like you always got to ruin the fun, dear. You're the kind of person that would tell us to stop skitching when we were kids.
Look at them purple and red.
It's about safety, and I will say with the boating and the swimming, I ended up because I'll swim in the area, and I will wear. You buy these blow up orange things that trail behind you, and that way people can see you when you're swimming. Because when you're out there, you would not see somebody. Not, really, how far out are you going to swim? But I have no direction, so I could be in the boating lane.
We're getting off the subject. He's running for county board. We're not talking about running marathons. We're talking
about safety.
So, Todd, how many people are running for this seat? I'm sorry I don't pay so much.
There's three.
There's all white guys? All old white guys?
Presently.
Gosh.
There's still time. May 12th, if you want to qualify, either come up with 5,000 petitions or $5,000 or $6,000. They can qualify by May
You know,
12th at
you know,
noon.
Okay.
I think
So,
that,
ladies, please join us.
I think the women are too smart to run because they don't want to put up with the kind of crap that you see in a political election. I mean, who wants to put
I'm
up with
counting on
that?
them to be smart enough to know which candidates to vote for.
Good
Do the
answer
research.
there. So now, being a county commissioner is a full-time job, right? Will you quit your job? I mean, will you have to quit your job?
I'm semi-retired. I'm keeping my license active as a social worker and as a nursing home administrator. I'm taking my CEUs. I re-up my license in September. It's always there for me. And so this is a full-time campaign right now.
So is that you would have to quit your job, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's
a full-time gig.
Yeah. And what do they get paid? I know that's public. Wow, $90,000 to be a public official, man. I'd run just for the money. Screw the
You're
issues.
never.
You don't think I get elected?
No.
I think I'm a man of the people.
No.
Give it a shot. You got till May.
I don't know. I got to start small. I
Qualify.
got to get on a committee. Me and John Heim. He's going to be my running mate.
Oh, heavens.
Now you said you're married.
Yes.
Yeah.
What other things? What?
I've got 2 great kids. My daughter will be joining me at FGCU in May. She'll be moving back here from Alabama. She got a free ride in engineering in Alabama.
Nice.
Wow.
She's transferring. She's going to start the study of environmental sciences at FGCU.
Very
So
cool.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that is exciting.
So how's the campaign going? Like, you can't really go door to door. So
I have been going door to door. What are you talking about?
You can't hit every door though.
I'm hitting as many doors as I can.
Did you knock on any doors down here on the beach?
I have hit so many doors you would not believe. Yes, I've hit doors on
Nice.
Myers Beach. I've hit doors in Cape Coral. I've hit doors in Lehigh Acres. You name it. Estero, Bonita.
How's
left and
the
right.
response been going door to door?
People are really touched that you're making the effort to come out and see them personally. Some folks are, sending their dogs after you.
I was going to say, and what is the weirdest or,
I've
situation
learned it.
you had?
I've been campaigning for other campaigns or volunteering for many years, so
Mhm.
it's not new to me to fend off dogs or a step away when the warning signs are out.
We've never gotten a campaign knock. We always get loiterers at
I'll
our
look you
door.
up.
We have.
Do you have one of those gated communities?
No,
It's tougher
we
there.
don't. We get people coming in that want to fix
We
our
get
roof.
solicitors. Yes.
Here's the thing:
Not
people come to our
loiters.
house and they say, I'm a roof guy. I'm doing the roof, and we had just gotten our roof replaced 2
Right.
weeks ago. I was like, "Can you see we have a new roof?" I mean, there's a difference.
They don't look up, huh?
But we've never had a candidate come to Gateway. Maybe they don't care about the
I
Gateway
had some friends who
people.
lived in Gateway
Yeah,
not that long ago. Then they moved to Alva.
Alva.
Yeah,
Nice.
they like
Ah,
horses.
very nice. So, how much money do you need to raise to really be in the race in a political
I love
campaign?
that question because folks measure candidates by how much money they have. And really, they should focus on candidates with the issues that match their issues and match their priorities. So I think it's skewed. I know my opponents are going to spend a bundle of money fighting each other,
Mhm.
and more power to them. I still think I'm going to beat them in the issues. I had the best dollar to vote ratio in my primary when I got my 11,000 new friends. And I'm going to plan on doing the same thing. My priority is not to dip into other people's pockets, but to really dip into their minds and find the issues that matter to them and touch them there.
And go ahead, dear.
Well, we were talking earlier. It's been a pretty big issue on the beach with the negative flyers that have been, issued by certain PACs.
Right.
Are you affiliated with any? Do you,
No, I don't take any PAC money. I just got a check for $250 from a fellow
Transparency
nursing home
here.
administrator. No, I have to. I have
Yeah,
to document
yeah.
every donation I
Right.
get. One of the guys I knocked on the door of gave me a rosary. I don't know how to qualify that, but it was very kind of him. I got to give myself a plug now while we're at it. Todd Truax, TODDTRUAX.com is the website.
Okay.
And then I'm also on Act Blue if you want to donate. And if you want to email me, it's todd@toddtruax.com.
Do you do the Instagram and the Facebook and all that? Are you getting
Well,
on
you
there?
found me through Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So
and you were great.
I had-
By the way, very responsive. Very
Well, you
responsive.
said
Right
bad
on
things
top
last
of it.
time you interviewed my opponent over there at breakfast.
I didn't say bad things
You
about
said
you.
I haven't been responsive. You couldn't get a hold of me.
I don't
wasn't
think it was
answering
you.
I
certainly didn't
listened
mean it was
before.
you. I didn't mean it was you.
I'm
There's
here.
somebody else running.
I'm
isn't
here.
there? Isn't there somebody else running?
There are two other fellas.
I think that's what I meant because you were automatically
All right.
responsive.
So Facebook, I'm on.
Yeah.
I need help with the Twitter and the Instagram and the
Yeah.
Snapchat
I know.
I don't think people use Snapchat.
That's what you
My
need your
daughter
kids
does, the
for.
young ones.
That's
Yeah.
the kids.
and YouTube. I got you some YouTube videos out there.
You
That's
do?
the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. What about TikTok? You on the TikTok?
I've been warned against that one.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. It's enjoyable, but
Yeah.
I've been warned against it.
You should do a podcast. Hey, it's catching on.
I'm doing it right now, I believe.
Yeah. I can help you out with that for a minor donation. This way, not that way.
Yeah.
That would be an expenditure for him.
So, how many other seats are open on the county commission?
There's 5 commissioners. 3 seats are open.
Wow.
I'm in District 3. There's District 1, and then I think District 5. So one is the Sanibel area. There's 2 candidates over there.
Ruane's running for one of the seats.
Ruane is heavily funded. He's spending a ton of dough. But I think there's deeper pockets there in that island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Plus, he's got a political base.
Yeah, and he's well known. He's been that mayor for like 100 years down there.
Yeah.
So
I saw him at the when I was at the Everglades Conservation Coalition meeting in Captiva.
Now the who else seat is up? I know
Frank Mann's seat is up. There's
Okay.
another fellow Dem. I'm a Dem. I'll come out right out and say it. But I was 30 years an independent, so I don't think either party's right all the time. And if you just pay attention to one party, I think it's like hunting with one eye.
I don't know what that means, but do you think that
He's not a real outdoorsy person.
No,
I see him staying to the shade over here.
I created social. What is it called that you're supposed to
Distance?
do now? I was the inventor of social distancing.
important.
So I don't want to lose my train of thought. Oh, how do you think the president has handled this entire virus situation? Be totally honest. Why are you looking at me like that?
Wow.
I don't have anything nice to say.
Okay.
There you go.
I happen to agree with that. I mean, I just think that it was just a total egg drop on that. It was just horrible and trickled down. I mean, the way it happened on the beach was like last weekend, nobody was even thinking about the Shrimp Fest ever being canceled.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, things just started one
In
after
the last
another.
48 hours, it just
Yeah.
School's out. 2 weeks.
I know.
Yeah.
No more
What-
cruise ships for a couple months.
When Disney closes,
Disney
That's a
East
big-
and West
yeah.
and Japan.
I
Right,
think
right.
the
a big-
cruise ships are just a bad idea from the beginning. I mean, there's nowhere to go. There's a group of people constantly around you. So, but I don't want to get off the subject. Why should people vote for you?
They should vote for me because I'm not in it for the developers. I'm not funded by the developers. I'm not in commercial real estate. I'm not going to benefit from my position other than to benefit the community that I serve. I've been a community service person all my life. So I still serve the community through the Lions Club in Bonita. So I know the Lions were throwing, the Fort Myers Beach Lions were throwing
Right.
the Shrimp Fest. But in Bonita, we go and check all the kids in their preschool. So I was in Lehigh Acres. I
Right.
was in Cape Coral. You name it. We're out there checking kids for vision and hearing. So
Yep.
it's about community service, and that's why I'm running.
yeah, they do. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago about the big push for vision and I know how important that is because, working with children, you can see if they have a vision problem, it's not going to be clearly
You can catch it
obvious. So
early.
you
You
really
can
need
catch
to
the
be
stigmatism and
Mhm.
treat it right away.
Yeah.
I also serve on the Cafe of Life. I've been on the board there for 8 years. We serve 50 to 150 people a day in Bonita Springs. And now we're providing transportation because all the cuts for transportation. So we're helping folks get to dialysis and other medical testing and taking kids to get their screenings for school.
Have you been elected to any other position yet, or this
I
will be
was
the
the
first
founding
one?
member of the Florida Healthcare Association, District 16. It's a cover 25 nursing homes from Peace River South to Marco, and as far west as LaBelle. And we covered all those nursing homes, and I was elected the president several years later.
Cool.
So that represented tens of thousands of nursing home patients, their families, and employees.
Any other
Yeah.
questions, dear?
No, I
How
think
do
we're-
how do people reach you? Todd?
Again, Todd at ToddTruax.com. I've got a Facebook page that I'm on pretty regularly. It's Todd Truax. There's a picture of me with Times Square swirling around me. And then the email is Todd at ToddTruax.com or the website ToddTruax.com.
And if they wanted to donate, they could find a way
You
that
can find
way.
me on Act Blue, too. Yeah, there's a link.
Act Blue, what's that?
It's a website to coordinate donations, and
Oh.
it helps keep with all the reporting.
Makes it
Shit.
easier.
It makes it easier. It streamlines the reporting process.
Cool.
Thanks
Well,
for the time.
Todd,
man. I really
thanks for coming
appreciate
on.
it.
We hope to have you on
Give me
again
an
when it gets
elbow.
closer to the election. I was
Elbow.
getting ready to shake your hand. I'm
Yeah,
glad I
yeah,
didn't
okay.
do that.
Tough.
Make sure you sanitize.
I
this
know,
time.
I will. I
know.
watch them all the time.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
Todd.
much.
Good luck,
Appreciate
in
it.
the, good luck in the election. Todd Truax, everybody, a big hand for Todd as he makes his way. I figured out how to use that. All right, folks, we want to tell you about Shuckers at the Gulf Shore, the Cottage Bar, and the Beach Bar. They are right up the street here from us. Shuckers open daily at 8 a.m. for breakfast, serving lunch and dinner until close, offering spectacular sunset views. Shuckers happy hour is Monday through Friday, 3 to 6. World-famous Cottage Bar opens daily at noon until midnight. Lunch and dinner and late-night menus 7 days a week, offering late breakfast on Saturday and Sunday. Happy hour every day, noon to 6. Live music every night, 8 o'clock to midnight. And the Cottage Beach Bar and Cabana opens at 11 a.m. until sunset, and they are offering lunch and dinner and late breakfast on the weekends. Happy hour 3 to 6, Monday through Friday. Live entertainment every afternoon. And, of course, they're going to have a spectacular view of the beach today, and everybody's going to be hanging out at the beach today. And so come on down. It's a big crowd already, and we want you to get down as early as you can and enjoy the beach. And right now we have, I'm a little confused about what's going on here. So, oh, okay, gotcha. We're just a little out of sequence here. That's all. No worry at all. No worry at all. Okay, no problem. So right now I take it John, because we've never met.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Costa.
John Costa is here, everybody. And John is getting nice and close to that. I know you probably don't want to touch because who knows what anyone has, right? I'm not saying Todd has anything. I'm just saying we're all being careful. So John is organizing a fundraiser for 3-year-old Sophia. And John, first tell us about Sophia. What's going on with her?
Yeah, Sophia, end of September, Sophia came home one day and told her parents she's 3 years old, that she was getting a pain in her stomach. The next day they took her to the hospital. Within a week, they'd taken out one of her kidneys, and she was diagnosed with Wilms tumor, which is a stage 4 Wilms tumor, which was pretty aggressive. Shortly after that, it metastasized into her lungs and her abdomen. So she went through 3 weeks of radiation and 30 weeks of pretty aggressive chemotherapy. She's about halfway through it. So she's the daughter of a local couple down here. Her father is a food and beverage manager at Diamond Head, and we're just trying to pull together as a local community and help them out as much as we can.
Now, how do you know the family?
We've been friends down here on the beach for, over probably about 10 years, maybe a little over 10 years right now, travel in the same circles. I don't think that most people that know the parents would say they're two of the nicest people down here.
Now,
And I would say too, regardless of insurance, the bills in excess of what insurance pays can be crippling.
And the bills can be crippling, and then on top of that, the time that has to be taken off work to go in. Little Sophia, every Monday she goes in for her chemo, and some weeks if her counts are high enough, she'll come home the next day. She's been in the hospital since not this Monday, the previous Monday for 12 days right now, because her counts dropped low, and then I believe they're keeping her there now because of this coronavirus scare that's going on. Her immune system's extremely depleted, so she'd be at an extreme high risk. So Marcel and his wife have been at the hospital, been taking off work, to spend and be there with her. So the financial toll, let alone the emotional toll, the financial toll that this puts on a family is immense. So whatever we can do just as a beach family down here, much, much appreciated.
And tell us about the event that you guys are holding at the Shamrock.
So March 29th, and obviously with everything we have going on right now, I'm not sure if, if they're going to, the town's going to withdraw a permit or not. If the town were to withdraw our permit, we would reschedule it. Sure. So, it's going to go on at some point. But up at the Shamrock, Randy at the Shamrock's been incredible. We're going to have live bands. We have 4 different bands. I'm finalizing the different bands, but local musicians. Briz Lady will be there. TC Carter, Chris Castilla will be there. We're going to have music from 12 to 6. They'll play in an hour, take a half hour off. We'll get the next band on. We're going to have food. We're going to have T-shirts. We're going to do silent auctions, raffle off 50/50s. We've got a great response from the local community already, with some of the hotels and resorts donating weekend stays that we can raffle off.
Is there a website or some place that somebody can go and look at it right now, maybe make a donation?
We do not have a website set up, but we have a GoFundMe account. And the GoFundMe account, you would find it under Baby Sophia Chartier is the last name. It's spelled Chartier, and you could find that on GoFundMe, and any donations would be muchly appreciated.
How's the family doing?
Extremely positive to where, that she's going through all this. I should have said the prognosis is looking good.
Okay.
I guess children react to the treatment very well. So the prognosis is good, and and everybody's praying and hoping, but it's a tough thing to go through.
She's being treated locally, or she?
Yeah, and I just it's a children's hospital in Fort Myers that
Okay.
she goes to. The name escapes me right now, but yeah, she is being treated locally.
All right. So anything else you want folks to know out there, or?
Well, I had a question.
Okay.
So the Shamrock event on the 29th, are people buying tickets, or they just show up and?
They're showing up. There's no cover charge or anything to show up.
Wow.
We're gonna raise money there. It's out in the parking lot. You'll start to see some banners that start to hang up on the stereo
Okay.
coming down soon, and
So it's all
hopefully
donations.
it's going to be all
Wow.
donations.
All right, folks, open up your wallet.
Yes.
Thanks so much,
hopefully.
John. And whatever you need from us, just send it over. And if we could do this again, if it gets postponed, we'll do it again and help any way we can.
Awesome.
Because you know
I
how
appreciate it.
great the people on the beach are.
Absolutely.
All right, John
You guys-
Koss,
Thank you
everybody,
so
and the
much.
event, if it goes on, is going to be at the Shamrock on the 29th, and that's to help raise money for Sophia. She's 3 years old, dang it, and she
Adorable.
Yeah.
The picture.
yeah. If you
I
get a
know.
chance to go online and check that out, the
So
pictures,
please
and go
consider
fund me
that.
a little bit of money, that'd be great. And while we're asking you for money, we're asking you again to dig deep into your wallet this weekend. Not only help the businesses by coming down, but if you have a few extra bucks and you want to buy a T-shirt, a Shrimp Festival T-shirt, they're 1 for $20 and 2 for $700, and that's quite a bargain. The Shrimp Festival has been canceled, which means $60,000 that is typically raised for local charities. Has to be made up some other way so that the kids, it's mostly kids that they help out, if I'm correct, will need to find a different way to fund that money that they raise. So come on down and at least buy a T-shirt. Right now they're at Local Color, which is right down the strip here. And pretty soon the Shrimp Festival is going, the Shrimp Festival, I keep saying that, the tent
Right.
where the Shrimp Festival was is going to be set up, and you'll be able to buy T-shirts behind us. Right now you can buy it in front of us. So come on down to the beach, beat the traffic, find a place to
The
park.
weather's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. We've been waiting for this day, and it's, I hate to say it, but it would have been such a nice day for a parade. But what are you going to do?
Perfect day
I know.
for a parade.
I
Yeah.
know.
So, dear, I'm going to, where I have to go after 30 minutes. I'm going to let you start this next segment off, and I shall return. So,
All right. Well, thank you so much, Karen, for coming down from
Thank
Fort
you.
Myers Beach, Friends of the Arts.
Right.
And we're going to be talking about Friends of the Arts in general, but also about the Winter Concert Series, because
Yes,
what's coming up
yes.
is the last show.
The last show, it was a huge event. We already had over 300 tickets sold. And unfortunately, the right decision was made to cancel it. It was coming up this week.
Okay.
So basically, in accordance with everyone else on the beach, do the right thing,
Right.
cancel the show. But it's not really canceled. It's just been rescheduled.
Mm-hmm.
So it's rescheduled for May 14th, which is also a Thursday evening. Same place, Fishtail Marina. So it'll be
And
great.
7 to 9 is the concert.
7 to 9 is the concert. You can go online to fmbarts.org for tickets, or you can go to the chamber in person.
But cash there, right, at the chamber is
Cash
what I
at-
saw. Okay.
Yes, cash at the they can do credit card
At the chamber too?
online.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Online, it's credit card at the chamber and at the event if they want to wait till the very last minute, but I think it's going to be sold out.
Right.
It's cash. It's
Okay.
$30 for regular and then $50 for VIP, which just gets you further up front.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about who's going to be singing and
Well, it's kind of a big event. It's a Chicago tribute band, and luckily we have Jeff Coffey. So Jeff was one of the original former lead singers of Chicago.
Okay.
He then went over to the Eagles with Don Felder. He has been on NBC, MTV, CBS. I mean, he's really, really well known. And so he was playing. And so he's also committed to play on the 14th of May. So
Nice.
that's fantastic.
That is fantastic. And
Yeah.
now tell us a little bit about, sorry, now I'm reaching for my notes. Tell us a little bit about just the Friends of the Arts, how it got started, who's involved, how other people can get involved.
I love it. I've just started on the board probably in February of this year. No, January of this year. So it's been in existence for 9 years. So in 2011, a lot of the citizens of Estero Island decided we needed a group to represent all the arts on the beach, whether that be fine arts, photography, music, whatever it may be. So to have one central place for that. So we work in combination with a lot of the other nonprofits on the beach and have synergies between Friends of Lovers Key, you know, obviously town council, rec center, all of that type of thing. So yeah, it's been a great experience. The board changes up. You can get involved though. You just, like I said, go to fmbarts.org and you can get involved in a couple ways, not just the board, but membership. We have all kinds of levels of membership to be involved in, and there's incentives for the higher the membership, of course.
Right.
Right.
Some perks.
So definitely some perks. Yeah.
So now how long, you said you're new in this position.
I'm new in this position.
But have you lived here? How long?
Well, so my husband and I, we bought here in 2016, knowing that we were getting ready for retirement. So we live on the beach. We live over off of 3rd Street. And then we moved here permanently from Minneapolis, September of 2018. So we are full-time residents. We love it. Sold our house in Minneapolis, said, out of here. No more cold.
Oh, I don't blame you on
37th winter of my discontent. Yeah, so I was like, get me out of here. So no, we just love it. We just live a couple blocks away, and it's the best thing we ever did.
Well, I know that he would ask you this. So with the election coming up, have you been kind of keeping a pulse on what's been going on?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have an opinion on the candidates? What can we get from you? Because I know if I don't ask you, he's going to do it.
Well, yes, I've been keeping a very close watch on the pulse. Pulse at the election. I'm also on BORCAB.
Oh, okay, great.
So I took Dan Aller's seat on BORCAB, and Dan was actually the one who encouraged me to apply for that position and get on the board. So needless to say, I am working for Dan, and Dan has my vote all the way. My husband's vote as well.
Great.
Bruce Butcher, good guy, really good guy. Adderholt, Veach. I mean, I wish there were 4 seats.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's the problem to make the decision, but without a doubt, Dan Allers.
And did you get any of those negative flyers?
You know, we didn't. And I think it's because we didn't vote here in the past.
Okay.
I've seen them all, obviously. I think it's tragic what these people are doing. I think it's insane. But we did not get the flyers because this is our first year voting down here. So it's very sad.
It is
very,
sad.
very sad.
Well, it was going to be a huge weekend with the Shrimp Festival, but
Yes, it was.
the council made the right decision,
I
and
believe
people
they
are
did.
still here, and they're still having a great time, and hopefully we'll help them sell a lot of shirts and try and raise some money.
I hope so.
So what is your plan for the rest of the day? What are you doing?
Well, we are punting, and we have kind of created a group, and anyone's welcome to join. We're going to do a total pub crawl of the beach, starting at Tuckaway Cafe at noon.
Wow.
And then heading all the way up the beach and ending here in Times Square.
Did you not see that on Facebook?
I did, but I remember you saying to me last night, after you were walking around the neighborhood trying to start a fight with somebody, that we were doing some kind of beer crawl today.
Well, that is it.
I am the neighborhood watch.
She's walking the dog around the neighborhood. Then she starts texting me to come down here. I'm in bed. It's 8 o'clock. I'm in bed
There was
with
a
my.
little bit of trouble.
There wasn't trouble.
There
You
was
you go
trouble.
looking
No.
for trouble. That's
No.
why you walk the dog late
No.
at night.
There was trouble.
Well, you know, you can also see in the windows at that time, so you could kind of peep around and see what people are
Is
doing.
that what you do? You peep in people's windows?
No,
You
I
pervert.
was making sure that
Nobody needs you
the
to make
people
sure.
walking in the neighborhood were not
Oh,
peeping in
my.
people's windows.
There you go. She's neighborhood watch.
I am neighborhood
Neighborhood watch.
And I
I
have
think
a
it's
little white
perfect.
Maltese
Dear.
that is neighborhood watch.
There you go.
No offense, but you're one kind of slimish, smallish woman, and you're walking around
I'm
with a
telling you what.
Maltese.
No,
She's a
I
mighty
know-
small woman.
That's right.
Mighty.
And I know all the moves to
She's got it.
Uh-huh.
She's got
self-protection.
it down.
Do you know one night she got dressed up like a ninja because somebody tried to break into one of our vehicles? So she waited for him in a ninja outfit. She's
Hey,
not well.
I just
She's
My,
not
was in
well.
my
all
3-year-old
black.
my 3-year-old grandson would love you in a ninja
Hey.
outfit,
Yeah.
without a
It's-
doubt.
was totally worth it.
Yeah.
It was so worth it when they came up and realized
That we were sitting
that
there.
they were in trouble.
I
and
wish
that
we
were
had the
sitting
Facebook
there.
going then. That would have
That
been
would
real
have been
funny.
hilarious.
I love it.
All
Love it.
right. So we might see you at the Tuckaway.
Well, that would be great. It
Yeah.
starts at noon, and we're just
Cool.
going to be traveling all the way up the beach. We'll end up, I'm sure, right in this area, and it'll be fun. We'll make the best of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming
Yes,
on. We hope
thank
to have
you.
you back.
So nice to meet you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
oh,
so
you're
much.
getting a big hand. Let's give her a big
Yay.
round of applause, everybody. The crowd's going wild. All righty. And while the wife is getting our special guests, everybody's a special guest today. I'm going to tell you, I think I'm going to tell you about something. Here we go. I'm going to tell you about the Fort Myers Tiki Tours. They are renewed for our sponsorship, our second time around with these fine folks. And you can catch them at 239-887-0042. I don't know why she's moving the set around. Everything was set up perfectly, but she's still got to take control, Mayor. I know. I'm so sorry. I know I am around you so much. I'm trying to change because you're such a positive influence on me, and I really love you so much. You're the nicest person I've ever met. I know.
Get to know me.
I know. All right. Can I finish reading the ad? I'm going to get in trouble. I won't get paid. Fort Myers Tiki Tours. They have sunset tours, dolphin cruises, and dear, we have 2 guests coming on. We have to do the equal time thing. It's only appropriate.
I love the shirt.
You forgot our second guest. You come on. He's coming on, right?
Yeah,
You
he
said-
is.
Okay, good.
You think he's just here for looking good?
I knew he
even
was
though
here
does
for
look good.
breakfast with
Yeah,
you.
that's right.
Bachelor and bachelorette parties, special occasions, team building, and they have really cool boats, everybody. If you want to get out on the Fort Myers Tiki Tours, now is a beautiful time to get out there. There's no wind like there was the last 2 weekends, and the water is smooth, and the fish are jumping and biting, and the sand is pretty, and all of that stuff. And you can people watch. You can watch all the people getting drunk at all the bars as you're floating by in your little tiki tour. It's so nice to have these special guests with us today. Commissioner Ray Sandelli and Mayor Anita Saracita, the Fort Myers Beach mayor. Mayor, overall, how many years were you the mayor?
You mean since back from the beginning of time?
Since your first since your first run.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 6 and 6.
6 years ish.
Yeah, it's a good number.
And the total years you were on the council were how many?
9 or 10.
10. So 95 was when they were incorporated.
Yeah, I was so for 95 to 2000 was
Okay.
my first gig, and now 2014 to 2020.
So out of all those years,
Yep.
how does every vote or decision you had to make compare with what you had to do at 9:05 in the morning yesterday?
Is that what time it was?
Yes, it was. I was watching.
Ray and I were just talking about this because I told him that there are. I think God blesses you every once in a while with the ability to know that exactly what you need to do, and it's very clear. And that was yesterday because Jackie Lesak and I were literally standing outside the chamber doors 2 minutes before the meeting, and we were like, yep, okay, we're gonna do it. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna take care of people, whatever. Setting up hand sanitizing stations, the whole bit. And then just in a moment, it was like, So yesterday probably ranks as for intensity not necessarily difficulty, but intensity, probably number one. And intensity because we knew the decision we made was going to impact everyone. I mean, you know, all these restaurants have tons of stock and inventory for this weekend, because we all know what this weekend normally is. And it's so nice to see the restaurants busy this morning. I know that everyone will appreciate that. Stores have got lots of inventory. I mean, there's just a lot of money sitting right now that normally would be turned over, right? So we knew that that was going to be an impact, but quite honestly, there was no other decision to make.
No, I think that, you know, that the safety of the beach residents and all the visitors and everything trumps that. But it's a very difficult decision.
It is, Kim. But you know, I was telling Ray, all of his people, well, our people out at the Emergency Operations Center on Thursday afternoon. It was inspiring to see the county manager, Roger Desjardins, has such an extraordinary team assembled. The Lee Health people, you talk about impressive. I mean, don't you agree, Ray?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great team.
It is.
And it's really a team effort.
Sure. And they just let you feel like, you know what? We're going to do the best we can. Everything will be as okay as it can be. But we have to remain, we were just talking at the table, we've got to not create a doomsday self-fulfilling prophecy here. We have to be vigilant, cognizant of everything we're touching and doing and whatever, but we also have to go on living our lives, because that's just what we have to do. But we have to take care of each other in the process.
Ray, how many people do you think, I know it's a tough question, but what are you preparing for in terms of how many people get coronavirus in Lee County, and how many are you prepared for to handle?
Well, I think there's so many unknown questions right now. I think you try to prepare for what you're seeing on a average every day, if that moves, and it hasn't been that great number. But then you start doing some projections. I think the really important part is if somebody's not feeling well or has a question, the first thing that we're telling you is to consult their primary physician. And the primary physician will then decide whether they should be tested or not tested, and then we'll follow certain protocols. That interfaces with Lee Health, for instance, for additional information, which goes back to how many beds are available should something happen. Lee Health is also looking at if there was to be some kind of unexpected explosion of cases of alternative sites for the hospitals. So it's not only the finite numbers of the hospitals that we have, but they're also looking at alternative ways to handle cases and stuff. So far, we've been good, and it is encouraging. I mean, I was as disappointed as anybody. I was all ready. Jackie had invited me down, you know, for her party and all that type of thing. And Anita called yesterday. I thought, well, I'm going to the beach anyhow because I just like it down here. And so I come down here, and here we are.
You're our guy, Ray.
Stuff like this. So.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Kim, not to interrupt, one of the most profound things that I learned at the EOC the other day was that this whole situation is so fluid. A week ago, one of my friends said, boy, I wish you'd told me this a week ago. And I'm like, a week ago, nobody had a clue this was going to happen. As a matter of fact, yesterday, we didn't know this was going to happen. And so it's gone from weekly updates to, you know, every day to every hour. Every hour.
And it continues to evolve, and it will continue to evolve, and then there'll be a point at which it starts to recede.
That's exactly right.
And right now, you know, I know I've heard people mention about flattening the curve.
That's the expression, and it makes sense if you look at. There's lots of graphs out there. It makes sense, and the difficult decisions that we're all making right now, including, you know, people in their daily lives, they're making, you know, do I go to that party?
Right.
I mean, I have some friends that are going to celebrate an 80th birthday. They're not sure they're going to have the birthday party. So, but all those decisions flatten that curve so we get ahead of it.
Right. And I thought it was great that Lee Health about the telemedicine.
Yes.
That is
Isn't that great?
huge.
It is.
Because I've used that through my and it's a great thing to have.
I've never used it.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to get in. I mean, when you're paying for it, it's the same as a copay.
Sure.
So, but it's effective, quick. You know, it's not for a major thing.
Oh, that's good to know,
yeah,
Kim.
It's very good. And to keep people, the benefit of that is keeping people out of coming into the office, because
exactly
that is what they do not want. I mean, if you're sick, you need to get treatment.
Well,
But
the situation, if by going in, if you are exposed, then you have the folks that are waiting on you potentially being affected.
right, or the kid sitting there with a broken arm, and now
Right. So everybody's trying to minimize the contact, trying to minimize until we get something definitive. And again, that goes back to your primary care physician.
Now, Anita, yesterday, did you feel like I could be wrong? Did you feel like you needed to set the tone first about the vote to pull the permits, that you needed to convince a few of the people on the council, or because you can't really talk about issues beforehand? No. So did you feel like you needed to make sure that you kind of pushed them in the direction to do that? Because nobody wanted to do that, really. Nobody wanted to do that.
The only person I felt like I was sure how they would feel was Joanne,
Yeah.
and it's because of her medical experience, and she's got a son who's a doctor and everything. I felt pretty sure where Joanne would be. But when I turned to Ray Murphy and I said, Ray, how do you feel? Ray was devastated. Ray's worked on that St. Patrick's Day for since the very first one we had, and a lot of people were really devastated that wasn't going to happen, whatever, including him. But when he started to talk, all of a sudden I thought, okay, and it was just, Rexanne wanted to allow the Lions Club time to make their decision. And there was that thought of, let's just see what the Lions do. But quite honestly, last night, sitting with all the Lions here last night, they were very grateful that we made the decision for them. And quite honestly, it was our decision to make. And again, I don't want to act like, we did something valiant. We did what needed to be done, what everyone else is doing. The only two scheduled events that were still pending was Bonita Springs Blues Fest and our Shrimp Fest. And so consequently at the EOC and the TDC meeting the other day, those were the things that were being talked about. And so Bonita Springs consequently closed theirs down and we closed ours.
Did you ever think that, well, listen, the majority of this is outside. Everybody should be okay.
Yes,
They're outside. Does that not matter?
That's what Jackie and I were talking about. We're like, everybody's going to be outside. It isn't the outsideness. It's the gathering. It's so you were here for Shrimp Festival last year. I've been here all my life. When that parade lets out, it's like salmon have nothing on the people on Fort Myers Beach coming down through this. It's true, and it's that intensity of all those bodies.
Right. It takes one sneeze from someone who admittedly doesn't know that they're even sick and shedding the virus.
Matt Love told me the other day
Fire
that
chief.
sneeze goes 10 feet before it does anything.
Wow.
So if I sneeze, Karen is going to get it.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, and people protect yourself.
Yeah.
And people don't always know. I mean, obviously, once you get a fever, you need to stay home.
But it could be 2 weeks.
But right. So that's the problem. That's what's hard about getting ahead of this virus.
Yeah.
And that's where the 2-week self-quarantine recommendation comes in.
But what we don't want to be is hysterical.
No.
We want to be smart. We want to be proactive. We want to be hopeful that things are going to be better. And we want to keep trying to be as normal as we can, but as smart as we can.
So the permits were pulled for yesterday to when? Like, there were other things going on the beach we talked about last night, like at the Lani Kai. They don't listen to anybody anyway, but what about other permits?
They listen. All right. I know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't want to harp on that, but are there other permits that events that are coming up that that you've canceled already, or you're not sure yet?
So we gave direction to our town manager yesterday at the end of the meeting that he should review all existing special event permits. No new ones will be issued. All existing permits to determine whether or not they meet what we're going to call the mass gathering criteria. Whatever that number is going to be when he looks at it, because it's changed.
Right.
The other day it was 1,000. Then it dropped to 250 or 500 or whatever it is. I don't really know what the number is right this second. But any event that he has at his discretion, any event that he feels reaches that criteria, will be the permit will be suspended for 30 days.
Okay. All right. Now I wanted to talk to Ray real quick about the walkover here. Looks great, man. Looks great. And it's done early and it's super cool for the handicap. So would you put a rush job on that somehow? Because I heard April 15th. What happened?
Oh, he put a rush job, all right.
Did you crack some
Yes.
heads back in the county building? Or
That's not how
No,
he
I was just
operates.
responding to the mayor here.
Okay.
No, we well, two things. One is anytime well, first of all, we had to do this outside of turtle nesting season, so that's why the work had to occur when it needed to occur. The second thing is as they started bringing the materials in, and from safety perspective and everything, they had to put up the fence and everything. So what we did on an interim basis was simply open up that space between the pier and the Dairy Queen, and then allowed us to clear unobstructed space to the beach. So we were able to do that fairly quickly. And once that got done, then it took some of the pressure off, and then we got the walkovers completed.
That
So-
walkover is
Fabulous.
heavy duty.
Fabulous.
I was like the size of the wood and the bolts. I'm like, this thing is going to withstand anything Mother Nature sends at it.
Well, don't say
It's
that,
nice.
Kim. We never know.
That's right.
Let's
Mother
let's
Nature's-
not ask it to be tempted.
No.
Yeah, but we're glad that we're almost completed.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be enjoying it. I came down a little bit early and just kind of walked around to see what was taking place. And so, it's something. I think everything you do, whether it's a road, whether it's the walkovers, it takes time, it takes money, and it takes patience.
So
But just to show how responsive he is, Ed, I call him up. I send him a picture. One of my girls at the Pier Peddler had taken. People literally are climbing over that
Oh, wow.
that wall.
Yeeks.
And I said, Ray, anything you can do to help, move this on next week is Shrimp Festival, whatever. He says, I'll be down in the morning to look at it. He came down that morning. He looked at it. He took pictures. And by noon, he's texting me saying, what if we open up that space between the pier and the Dairy Queen and make that a temporary access, and we'll have the other section finished by the end of the week? And I went,
Fantastic.
yeah, that's great.
Yes,
That's
please.
Great. Thank you, Ray, for that. Thank you.
I love it down here.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So I hope as we get to, when things settle down, sit with you in your living room and do a nice long interview with you because of everything you've done and because we love you.
you
But-
talking to Ray or me?
No, I'm talking to you. He's got a ways
It's
to
my
go.
living room.
He what?
I'm just here for the spillover.
Yeah. So what? You got till April 6th, but what are you
Yeah.
gonna miss?
Oh, this guy just asked me the same question, and I'm gonna miss helping in any way I can.
It's all about the people.
It's all about the
And
people.
She's the best at it.
Yeah.
And what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to picking up my guitar again.
Nice.
Bill Veach, he's such a dude. He's all this hoopla that's going on last night. All of a sudden, out of the blue, I get this text message from Bill, and it says, was that just a prop in that video you did with Mary Winter and Joe? And I'm like, no. And he says, I'm going to come over and restring it for you. And anyway, so we started texting back and forth about playing the guitar again. It just made my day. So I want to do that. I want to do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm not sure is going to
I
happen
don't
for a
think
little
that's
while.
in
That is
there.
not-
That's not part of it. Ray, did you want to say something, or I saw you?
No, I just
Okay.
it's great to see everybody out here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to remind
Great
everybody
crowd.
to take care of themselves. Everything we've discussed this morning, it's all about the health and well-being of the community.
Yeah.
And if we take care of each other, take care of ourselves, we'll get by this as we have things in the past, and it'll be a nice day again.
And we have Shrimp Festival
Oh,
shirts.
yes.
Tell us about that. Where they
So
are.
just to make a plug for the Lions Club, Ed's got a T-shirt here. Maybe somebody will call and make a donation. You can give it away.
Okay,
and
we'll do that.
Whoever calls and makes a donation, I'll tell you what.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
So
Pot's getting bigger.
Here it goes. Here
It's
it
gonna
goes.
get sweetened.
So I see you've got a little. Oh, that's where all the messages come up. That's
Yep.
cool. Okay.
Yep.
So if
It's called
anybody,
Facebook. You're good at Facebook, though. You are good at Facebook.
I
You're
like
real
how
good at Facebook.
how you call it the Facebook. It makes
gotta
me
have your
laugh.
thing.
Okay, whatever. Anyhow, if someone wants a Shrimp Festival T-shirt,
Yeah.
let's say they're in, I don't know, Topeka. I don't care where
Michigan,
the heck
left from
Michigan. From Michigan. And they want a Shrimp Festival T-shirt because this Shrimp Festival T-shirt has a story, right?
It's going to be a collector's
It's going to be a collector's item.
Absolutely.
If they want one and they send you a message with their address and everything else and what their donation is to the Fort Myers Beach Lions Club,
Okay.
I will mail it to them at no cost.
Oh, wow.
So they make the donation to the Lions Club, and I'll mail them the
It has to be a minimum of $20. It can't be $5.
It has to be a
can't
minimum of $20. People are, they're gracious,
Yes.
they're kind, and they recognize when there's a need. So there's that. Then today, in front of Local Color, which is, my store down there, and then Shelby from the Lions and Laura Stam and her crew, they're going to be setting up right in front of the tent over here. We have about God knows how many T-shirts right now, and they're going to try and recuperate it. So normally these shirts are going to sell for $20, but today they're going to be 2 for $30, or 1 for $20, or 1 for $100,
whatever,
or 1 for whatever. Or John Lalo just gave me a check for $1,000. I'm not giving him a T-shirt though; he's got to buy it.
Wow.
No, it probably decreases it, right?
That's great.
Yeah,
and we got a couple of donations last night too, and I have the address to send it to where they send it, who to make it out to if you want to mail something directly. And I know that Shelby said she was setting something up on the Shrimp Festival website, so
and I think
we'll get all that out.
Lisak is going to be setting something up. Jackie, aren't you going to put the shirts on the chamber?
There won't be any left at the end of today.
Well,
there won't be any left.
What? I hope not.
There won't be any left.
Okay,
All right,
so Jackie's going to mail them too for us.
If you don't want to put your information in the box here, you can direct message it to me. I'll get all the information to the mayor. So a minimum of $20 donation gets you a shirt, and it gets mailed to you wherever you live in the country. We only have 9 listeners, so pass the word around to your friends that
there are only 9 people listening.
We only have 9 every week. I like to cap it at 9. So I'm kidding.
You're an overachiever, aren't you?
Well, it's nice to see everybody out and about and spending
it's a
money.
Beautiful day.
Are you going to do the pub crawl today with Karen said there's some pub crawl going on. Am I going to see you crawl in pubs? Or
I'm going to plead the 5th on that.
Okay,
there you go.
We might see her out there. So, well, thank you guys so much for coming on. Mayor. Thank you for everything.
Hey, listen, you know what? Sometimes I get really irritated with you because you're a bulldog. But Ed, thank you for what you do for our town.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
he's
saying that.
so look at you really made him super uncomfortable right there.
It was intentional.
And there was touching
There was
involved too.
touching involved and
there's
a
more touching
compliment.
involved.
And a compliment.
Thank you.
Okay?
I'm trying to be nicer. I appreciate
The kinder, gentler Ed Ryan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
that's the
on
thing.
the Facebook.
Yeah, on the Facebook. Thank you to the mayor and thank you to
Thank
Ray.
you.
Sandelli.
And thank you all.
And thank you all for putting up with me. Well, we're not done yet, dear. We have a couple more things to
All
talk
right.
about. So, and we also want to
Are we
get your
going to
mom.
talk about my mother's
Yeah.
toes?
We want to get your mom on the show because your mom came all the way. Not yet. Don't pull. I mean,
Okay.
I've seen her for the last 2 days nonstop. So, can you give me a little bit of a break?
Okay.
We want to talk about, and I want to make sure that you talk about our
Uh-oh.
special interviews that we've been doing. The super fan page is the top. There's a link at the top of the Facebook box there that you all can probably see. We're going to give you a free T-shirt if you register. It's only $5 a month. So we're trying to build the show up to make it bigger so that we can, grow the show in different
and
ways.
also to provide added content that people
Right.
hopefully will be interested in because you can't cover everything on a Saturday morning.
Right. We did a bunch of interviews this past week that you guys will all get. We have a video interview with Megan Allers. And the reason for that is we wanted to get her take on the election. Obviously, her husband is running for town council, and PAC has been going after him with some nasty, mean, lying flyers. And we wanted to see how she felt about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that interview was about 20 minutes. It wasn't incredibly long.
No,
These
but
aren't
I
going to be
think,
Joe
yeah.
Rogan length interviews.
No, but it's interesting to hear from the family members. I mean, we hear so much from the candidates, but it's not just them. It's their families that are involved and sometimes feel the fallout from this situation. So
Now that video, that interview is audio and video. So what happens is when you click on the link,
I love it too. You give me like 5 minutes warning
stop.
that it's going to be video. So I got to
I know, like it's a big deal.
Glam
I just
up.
put a hat on. It's going to be audio and video for the most part. We're trying to, if we can get video, we will. But what happens is you'll click on the link, put your $5 credit card in, which is totally safe, and there's no commitment. You could put the $5 in, get the free T-shirt, and then quit the next day. That would be fine. I mean, whatever you want to do.
And then mail back the T-shirt?
No, they get to keep the T-shirt. But anyway, so what'll happen is you'll get a text, and it'll tell you to pick which player that you listen to podcasts on, and then it comes right up. The last three, there's 3 audio interviews in there. The one with Megan, the one that I did with Steve Duello, who's great on the show, and we went out to a secret location and interviewed Guy Gravino, who is a real Special Forces guy. And last week at one of the churches here on the beach, Martin LeBlanc, who we had on the show a couple weeks ago over code violations, claimed that he was a Special Forces operator and wrote a book about it. And then the Special Forces guys heard about the show. They said, "Thank you, Mayor." They said that he's a fraud. They did a bunch of research into it, and they have concluded that everything he said about being in the Special Forces and the Green Berets, rather, is completely made up. We did an interview with him and talked about his service to the country.
Okay.
And also talked about that. And then the other interview I did was with the former mayor of Windermere, Florida, who is involved in the League of Mayors. He's involved all over the state because the state legislature is trying to regulate more on how vacation rentals are regulated. They're trying to get more involved. Like, they don't want the towns to have the power. It's called home rule. And so we interviewed him. I'm sorry, I didn't know if you knew that, but we interviewed him about that, and he had some great stuff to talk about. And that I've been doing this interview with AJ Bassett, and that's going behind the paywall.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is great stuff. So it's going to be stuff like that.
Interview with Anita, the long
Right.
format one.
We're hoping that she allows. Whoa, we're losing the camera there. Somebody kicked our camera. It's all right. I got things sticking. I know it's not intentional or unintentional. We hope that you're able to have like a little. Did you hear what she said? I'm not allowed in her living room, so I have to be looking out from the outside.
She is so gracious and wonderful.
She said that, or we want to have like a little Oprah interview where you sit down, a couple of big couches, and you just talk about all her service to the community.
Please.
What?
I have no Oprah.
You don't have Oprah skills?
No, I don't think I have Oprah skills, but I would like to just have a nice casual conversation with her and get her perspective and her, historical viewpoint of everything that's gone on, just so that it's preserved.
Well, this past week has been super awesome for the show. I mean, we had, you have to have news for stuff like that to happen. And you had all the selection stuff going on. And we've tried to, and then we got the threatening call from Tracy Gore's lawyer that they were going to stick a lawyer on us. And then Robert Brand put us in his ad. I mean, just couldn't ask for anything more than what happened the last week. I know you don't want to get sued, but, all publicity is good publicity, dear. So anyway, if you want to click on that link and join the club, we're also going to create a private Facebook club, just so not because we want to be private. We don't. Just that watching the videos will be easier. You can do the videos live that way and then record them and upload them. Because for some reason, I think our shtick stack back and forth is a little bit better when it's live.
Yeah, that's true.
So what else did you got? You got a whole book full of stuff there.
No. I was just.
Yeah.
Every week you get me on this.
All right,
I'm
so take
super
it away.
Prepared.
Go ahead.
All right, so FMB Designs and Remodeling, which they can be reached at 362-8408. We love Nikki and Ed, and they will come and redesign your house. They remodeled spaces for better living. That is their kind of thing. And they do kitchens, baths, cabinetry, countertops, outdoor kitchens, which that would be something we should get. Add to our outdoor kitchen, custom closets, flooring, and painting. They're residential and commercial. They're here on the beach. They live on the beach, and they serve the beach. So please give them a call. Family owned and operated since 2004, 362-8408.
Are we doing the pub crawl? Is that what we're doing today?
I don't know, because we also have puppies at home that need to be monitored
Well,
and
my
dealt
sister
with.
that's not really doing anything
I know,
productive.
but she
She can
doesn't
go to the
live.
house.
She doesn't live near us.
Well,
so.
we can pay her. Give her a T-shirt. Get her a T-shirt. By the way, if you didn't hear what the mayor said, if you want a T-shirt, make a donation or just tell us what your donation is going to be. Put
Upwards
it in
of 20.
You can put it in the chat box, or when we get off the show, you can put it. You could direct message me or text me or whatever. I'll get the shirt for you. and the mayor will mail it to you, and
And
free of
so-
charge.
And Jackie from the chamber also made the same offer that they will,
Cool.
if you make the donation and that gets all verified, they'll send T-shirts out.
Right, and they look pretty cool. They look very cool, and they're going to be
I know,
collector's
and
items.
I didn't realize
They have
that,
tank tops too.
Yes,
Jackie's got a tank
yes.
top.
They come in tank top and regular, and they're true to size. They're super cute, very bright, very festive.
Why are these guys standing over here?
I
staring
think
at
they
us?
want to
It's very
talk
weird.
to you, but I'm going to look this
Okay,
way.
so why don't you get your mom before we go,
Okay.
because she wants to be on the show. It makes her feel like she's famous when she's on the Facebook. So we're going to get Kim's mom on for our final segment, and then we're going to let you all go, because this is, once again, we're looking at close to record time, and I know you guys are getting bored from watching this. It's way too long. 1 hour is enough. We got to figure out how to stick to 1 hour. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, how about a big hand from the studio audience for Kim's mom, Donna. She flew in all the way from Utah. Yay. She was going to be a judge for the parade, the Shrimp Festival parade. And actually, they put you in charge of judging this year, didn't they?
That was amazing. I only 1 year in, and I'm already in charge.
1 year in, and she was promoted
She was
to head
nervous,
judge.
though, about it. She was nervous, and we were going to have to put out, get some recruits to help her judge.
Yeah.
But she got promoted to head judge this year, so she was
that's a lot of
devastated by the
responsibility.
news.
So she wanted to sit in one of those revolving chairs, and every time a float that came around that she didn't like, she would just turn around in the chair like they do on, what show is that? The Masked Crusader singer or
The
something?
Voice.
The Voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they turn around when they like it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You can't do it that way.
No, you can't do it.
So-
No, I was upset. I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah. You got
This
your
is your-
sunglasses. You got your hair done last night. You were ready to go.
Oh,
She's got. We can't show it really, but I'll take a picture and put it up on the Facebook because it's adorable. She has her toes painted,
Yes.
and there is a shrimp
I
painted on her
know.
big toe,
All
which
of that.
is adorable.
Yeah. I was thinking of getting my toenails painted with shrimp on
Don't
them.
do that, please.
No?
You need to get a pedicure.
I don't think I want anyone ever touching my feet ever.
I know, and we were also going to be riding on the
The tiki
float.
tours?
No, the
Oh,
float.
Margaritaville float.
for
Yeah,
St. Patrick's Day. But yeah, it was the TPI one, and so
You
that
know, I would like to see a picture of the TPI float. I mean, they've been
it
working on
sounded
that.
impressive.
Everybody's been talking about it, and you guys are going to get to
Mhm.
ride on it. I mean, what do you do with that now? Do you just
I was
take it
wondering that
apart?
this morning. What do you
I don't know.
save it for next year or what?
You know, the mayor was wondering what she does with all the candy that she has at her house now, because I guess, I don't even remember this part. They throw candy out at the kids?
Oh yeah.
So I just suggested that she throw it out.
No, she could. I don't know. Maybe she could
It's
save it for
probably
Halloween.
Hard candy that's wrapped.
Yeah, but I
And
don't
then
think the
we'll see-
kids need candy,
Well, no.
right?
Some places
They should,
stop doing that.
if they had the parade, they should have just threw out like hand sanitizer and tissues and things like that. That
Well,
would have been
Good luck
appropriate
finding
this year. Right?
Back in Utah, where I live now, they stopped throwing the candy out because it was making the kids, they get so excited they'd run out into the road and it was causing a
Oh, wow.
hazard. So
Yeah.
they stopped doing that.
You know, I know you're going to be here till Friday, but I haven't said this to you at the house yet, but you're only allowed 4 strips of toilet paper until you leave, okay? Because I don't know where I'm getting it, and I'm not going without it, so.
Yes, I like that. He comes home not with toilet paper the other
Yeah,
day, but with
wipes.
baby wipes.
Yeah, well, I was
They're
telling.
not even flushable.
I was telling our 9 fans that I shouldn't even call them fans, 9 accidental viewers, that I went to Walmart at 4 o'clock on Friday because I go to Walmart at 4 o'clock to not be around a crowd every Friday. And I figured I can go this early. They'll be stocking the shelves with toilet paper and water. And there was not a bottle of water or a roll of toilet paper. So I picked up 2 packages of baby wipes and went
He
home.
goes, I don't know why I did it. I just got the last 2.
It seemed like, all right, who forgot these? I'm getting them.
They're not disinfectant wipes. They're just regular baby wipes.
Yeah.
Well, why would you keep the wipes are in the kitchen?
I have no idea
don't
why I
know
bought them.
why
No.
that's going to help, but
If we have
That's
to
a scary
get
thought.
the world is going to go crazy if there's going to be wiping with paper towels, because that's going to cause bigger problems than
No,
the coronavirus.
I mean, hopefully everybody, the panic is subsiding as we speak. And
You know, I don't want to talk national politics ever, but if this dude doesn't get reelected, this is going to be the reason why. It was just a major fart this whole last week, and I know a lot of our people we know are Trump fans, and I've never said I wasn't, but man, this last week.
Not
It
handled
just
well.
it was like an avalanche downhill, one right after another, and it just seemed like it was a
Well, apparently
Total
he gave out some
fumble.
misinformation and then had to correct it on his Twitter feed.
Yeah.
So
Well, even last night when I listened to some of the Rose Garden stuff, and he said that Google was creating this site for that, has something to do with all these private companies getting involved, and then Google had to correct them and said, no, we're not doing that. So,
in any event,
yeah.
come on down to the beach.
Right,
The
forget
weather
about
is
it.
beautiful. Come support the Lions Club. They do
Yes.
so much good for children, especially here at the beach, but really everywhere. The T-shirts are available. They're amazing. They're 1 for $20, 2 for $30. We haven't offered, but the mayor and Jackie from Chamber have offered for our folks who are out of the area to have them shipped free. So please, continue to support the local businesses. Come out, be safe, use common sense and good caution. Listen to all of the updates that have been going on and continue to live your life.
Yes. And come on down to the beach. The shirts are available now if you want to buy them for cash at local color. The Lions Club's going to be set up in the tent. You can direct message us or text Kim and tell us where you live and what your donation will be. We have Venmo accounts. I think we have a relationship now after 18 months where people trust us that we're not going to go out and buy wine with it or anything like that, and we'll get your shirts to you free of charge, no cost to mail. So
Okay.
And if you feel like supporting the show, click on that link above there, and the link, hold that there. I don't mean to give you orders, but I want to make sure I read it out. I don't know where it is, but you see it at the top of the Facebook page.
The other thing too is please consider coming out on the 29th and at the Shamrock
if that still
for
goes
baby
on.
Sophia, if that goes on, but keep
Right.
tabs on that because
Yep.
they're going to really need the support of everybody in the community, to help this little girl and help the family out. So please keep an eye on that. We'll keep you updated if it gets changed, right?
You were very talkative today. You were getting into the show.
I'm on it.
You were really getting into the show.
on
Back in the day, you really didn't want to be here, but now you're getting.
Well,
The
there's
last
times
couple of
where I
days-
still don't want to be sitting here with you, but I
No
do
love.
it.
I get no love. I got some
You
love
got
from
lots
the mayor
of love
today.
from her. Yeah, that's
I'm
great.
going to try and be kinder and
Super
gentler,
sweet.
but I don't know if that people want kinder and gentler. They want
What they want
honesty.
you to do is wrap it up.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of the show. And we will see you back here. Same bat time, same bat channel from Pete's Timeout, Table 23. And we might have some interviews during the week, but you never know. So have a great Shrimp Fest weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.